Listen, most people quit before they even start. They dream about the body, they dream about the strength, they dream about the power, but when it's time to put in the work, they fold, they give in to weakness. They let comfort destroy their potential. You can't live like that. You can't say you want it and then run away from the pain. The pain is the process, the pain is the price, the pain is the path to becoming who you were meant to be. You want to be fit. Then stop negotiating with your excuses. Stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Stop saying you're tired, busy, or not in the mood. Nobody cares how you feel. Your body doesn't respond to feelings. It responds to discipline. When that alarm goes off, get up. When your legs are burning, keep going. When your mind screams stop, tell it, shut up, we're just getting started. Because the mind is the battlefield, and if you can conquer it, you can conquer anything. Don't just train your body, train your spirit. Train your mind to embrace discomfort. When it hurts, smile. When it's hard, push harder. That's what being savage means, not just showing up when it's easy, but thriving when it's hell. Every rep, every set, every drop of sweat is building something the world can't take away from your resilience, grit, power. You're not just building muscle, you're building an unbreakable will. So don't just work out. Dominate, don't just lift. Conquer, don't just run. Hunt down your weakness and destroy it. Be relentless, be obsessed, be unstoppable. Most people are soft. Be the savage who refuses to quit. Be the savage who shows the world what discipline looks like. Be the savage who turns pain into strength. No shortcuts, no excuses. Just you, the grind, and the war within. Stay hard, be a savage. Stop negotiating with your excuses every day you wake up. You're at war with yourself. And let me tell you something, the enemy is not out there. It's not the weights in the gym. It's not the treadmill. It's not your lack of time, your job, or the people who don't support you. The enemy lives in your head. The enemy is that little voice that whispers, "I'll do it tomorrow. I'm too tired. I deserve a break. It's not the right time." That voice wants you weak. That voice wants you soft. That voice wants you average. And if you keep negotiating with it, you'll lose. Because the moment you start bargaining with excuses, you've already surrendered your power. Excuses are like poison. They don't kill you right away, but they weaken you over time. One skipped workout becomes 2, then 3. One bad meal becomes a pattern. One "I'll do it later" becomes your entire life. Before you know it, you're out of shape, full of regret, and wondering where all your potential went. The truth is simple. You either own your excuses, or your excuses own you. There's no middle ground. Winners don't negotiate with weakness. They don't look for a way out, they look for a way forward. They don't care how they feel, they care about what needs to be done. Think about this. Every time you skip that workout, every time you sleep in instead of running, every time you choose comfort over discipline, you're sending yourself a message: I am not strong enough. I am not committed enough. I don't deserve it. And whether you realize it or not, your mind starts to believe that. But flip it. Every time you show up when you don't want to, every time you push through when you're tired, every time you reject an excuse, you're writing a new story about yourself. You're proving to your own mind that you're not average, that you're not weak, that you are in control. That's how you build confidence, not with words, not with affirmations, but with action. Excuses are seductive because they make sense in the moment. It's raining, I'll run tomorrow. I worked hard today, I deserve to rest. It's just one meal, it won't hurt. But here's the truth, comfort is a liar. Comfort will always sound logical because it wants to keep you safe. But safe never built a savage, safe never built a strong body. Safe never built a mind that can conquer anything. You've got to kill the negotiation. The alarm goes off, you get up. No debate. The gym session hurts, you push harder. No compromise. The schedule is tight, you make the time. No excuses. That's how you win. The savage doesn't live by feelings. He lives by commitment. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. Motivation is weak. It comes and goes. Discipline is what makes you unstoppable. So next time that voice whispers in your head, Don't argue with it. Don't explain. Don't rationalize. Just shut it down with action. Lace up your shoes. Grab the weights. Run until your lungs burn. Lift until your muscles scream. Prove to yourself that excuses don't control you. Because here's the bottom line. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to drag you out of bed. Nobody is going to carry you through the workout. This is your fight, and if you want to build a body, a mind, and a life that nobody can break, you've got to stop negotiating with excuses. From today on, every excuse dies the moment it shows up. From today on, you stop letting weakness win. From today on, you become the savage who takes action, no matter what. Be relentless, be disciplined, be unstoppable, and above all, stop negotiating with your excuses. The pain is the path. Everybody wants the results, but nobody wants the suffering. Everybody wants the body, the strength, the energy, but the second it starts to hurt, they quit. The second their legs feel heavy, they stop running. The second their chest burns, they rack the bar. The second the sweat pours, they wipe off and go home. Listen carefully. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the path. You will never get stronger without pain. You will never grow muscle without stress. You will never develop mental toughness without pressure. Pain is not a punishment, it's the teacher. And if you run from pain, you run from progress. Think about it. Every scar on your body tells a story of survival. Every blister, every sore muscle, every aching joint is proof that you stepped into the fire and refused to back down. That pain is the receipt for the work you've put in. It's the cost of greatness. But here's the problem. Society has taught people to worship comfort, to avoid pain at all costs. We've been told to take the shortcut, the quick fix, the pill, the hack. And that's why most people are weak. They've trained their whole lives to avoid discomfort. So the moment life gets hard, they crumble. But not you, not anymore. You have to rewire your mind to see pain differently. Pain is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that you're alive, that you're pushing limits, that you're breaking through the old version of yourself. Every rep that hurts is chiseling away weakness. Every run that burns is carving a new level of endurance. Every time you suffer and keep going, you're forging a weapon that can't be broken. You can't pray for strength and avoid the weight. You can't dream of stamina and refuse the miles. You can't wish for greatness and dodge the grind. Pain is the toll you pay for entering the elite. When you feel the lactic acid in your muscles, smile. When your lungs are gasping for air, keep running. When sweat blinds your eyes, don't wipe it off, let it sting. Let it remind you that you're alive, that you're doing what others are too soft to do. Understand this. Pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. The burn in your legs will fade, the soreness in your body will heal, but if you quit, that regret will eat you alive for the rest of your life. Regret is heavier than any weight you will ever lift. What separates the savage from the average is the relationship with pain. Average people see pain and retreat. Savages see pain and advance. Average people pray for it to stop. Savages pray for it to continue because they know that on the other side of pain is growth, strength, power, and transformation. When you avoid pain, you stay the same. When you embrace pain, you evolve. When you go through pain, you discover who you really are. So the next time it hurts, don't think I can't take this. Think this is the process. This is the price. This is the path. Lean into it. Push harder when it burns. Smile when it aches. Celebrate the suffering because you know what it means you're leveling up. The pain you feel today is shaping the body you'll see tomorrow. The struggle you endure today is sculpting the strength you'll carry for life. The tears, the sweat, the exhaustion, that's the raw material of greatness. So stop running from pain. Stop treating it like the enemy. Stop begging for easy. Easy doesn't change you. Easy doesn't build muscle. Easy doesn't create warriors. Pain is the path. Walk it, crawl it, run it, but never ever turn back. Because once you learn to embrace pain, you'll discover the truth. There's no limit to what you can endure, and no limit to what you can become. BeASavage Embrace the suffering, and remember, the pain is the path. Master the battlefield of the mind. Your body is not the problem. Your muscles are not the problem. Your lungs are not the problem. The real war is in your head. The mind is the battlefield, and until you learn how to win that war, you will always quit before your body ever reaches its limit. Your body can handle more than you think. You've got fuel left in the tank when your mind is screaming that you're empty. Science has proven it. When you think you're done, you've only tapped about 40% of your potential. That means there's another 60% locked away, waiting for you to access it. But most people never do, because they let the mind run them instead of learning how to run the mind. The mind is tricky. It wants comfort. It wants safety. It wants to protect you from pain. So the second things get tough, it floods you with thoughts like, "This hurts too much. I can't go on. I should stop now." That's the mind doing its job, keeping you in survival mode. But survival mode will never take you to greatness. Survival mode is just existing. You've got to flip the switch. You've got to stop listening to the lies your brain tells you when it gets hard. You've got to recognize those thoughts for what they are, noise. Fear, weakness trying to pull you back into average. And when that noise gets loud, that's when you need to fight back. Here's the truth. Discipline beats feelings. Your feelings will lie to you every single day. They'll tell you you're too tired, too busy, too sore. They'll give you 100 reasons why you should quit. But discipline doesn't care. Discipline says, "I don't care how I feel. I do it anyway." When you learn to master the battlefield of the mind, you stop being a slave to feelings and start becoming a commander of action. You stop waiting for motivation because you understand motivation is weak, unreliable, inconsistent. You replace it with mental armor, the kind that says, "No matter what, I show up. No matter what, I finish." Think about the strongest athletes, the toughest warriors, the most relentless people you've ever seen. What makes them different? Not genetics, not luck. It's their mind. It's their ability to push past the wall when everyone else quits. It's their refusal to let weakness win. But here's the part nobody wants to hear. Mastering the mind doesn't happen overnight. It takes practice. You build mental toughness the same way you build muscle, through resistance, through stress, through repetition. Every time you ignore that voice telling you to quit, you're strengthening your mental armor. Every time you finish the set when you wanted to stop halfway, you're rewiring your brain. Every time you push through exhaustion, you're teaching your mind who's in charge. And just like in the gym, consistency is the key. You don't master the battlefield of the mind in a day, a week, or a month. It's a lifelong war, but the more battles you win, the stronger you become. When you step into the gym, it's not just physical training, it's mental warfare. When you run miles you didn't think you could run, that's mental warfare. When you lift weights that scare you, that's mental warfare. And every victory builds a stronger, sharper, more savage mind. Understand this, the body follows the mind. If your mind is weak, your body will crumble. If your mind is strong, your body will go where it's commanded. Master the mind, and the body will obey. So the next time you feel that urge to quit, recognize it for what it is: weakness trying to negotiate. That's the moment you decide who you really are. Do you let weakness win, or do you push through and claim victory? This battlefield will test you every single day. Some days you'll lose. Some days the mind will win. But if you refuse to surrender, if you keep showing up, if you keep fighting, you'll get stronger. And one day, you'll look back and realize you became unstoppable, not because your body was built like steel, but because your mind was unbreakable. Master the battlefield of the mind, and there is nothing, no workout, no challenge, no obstacle that can ever defeat you. Be relentless, be disciplined. And remember, the war is won in your head long before it's won in the gym. Train beyond the body, build the spirit. Most people think fitness is only about the body. They think it's just about abs, muscles, or how heavy they can lift. They step into the gym chasing looks, chasing approval, chasing the mirror, but a true savage knows it's bigger than that. Training is not just about building the body, it's about building the spirit. Because here's the truth, the body will always have limits, but the spirit can be limitless. Muscles will fatigue, bones will ache, skin will wrinkle, time will eventually take its toll, but the spirit, that's eternal. And when you train beyond the body, you're building something that no weight, no injury, no setback can destroy. Ask yourself this, when the workout gets hard, what keeps you going? It's not the size of your biceps. It's not the shape of your chest. It's your spirit, that inner fire, that voice inside that refuses to surrender. That's the part of you that separates the savage from the soft. Training the spirit happens when you face adversity and refuse to break. It happens when you push yourself past the point where most people quit. It happens when you suffer and still keep moving forward. That's the grind that builds resilience. That's the work that creates warriors. Here's the reality. The gym is not just iron and sweat. It's a battlefield where your spirit is tested every single day. You think you're training muscles, but what you're really training is character. You're building patience, discipline, humility, and grit. The barbell doesn't care how you feel. The treadmill doesn't care if you're tired. The pull-up bar doesn't care if you're in the mood. They demand effort, consistency, and sacrifice, and that demand forges the spirit. When life hits you with loss, setbacks, or challenges, it's not your six-pack that saves you. It's your spirit. It's that same discipline you built in the gym. It's that same toughness you built running when you didn't feel like running. It's that same resilience you built finishing sets when your body begged you to quit. Fitness is the training ground for life, and every rep is preparing your spirit for the storms you can't see coming. Think about it. If you can discipline yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. and train when the world is sleeping, what else can you conquer? If you can push through exhaustion, pain, and self-doubt in the gym, what makes you think you can't push through it in life? That's why you train beyond the body, because life isn't about perfect physiques, it's about unbreakable spirits. The savage knows the body will follow the mind, and the mind will follow the spirit. When the spirit is strong, you become unstoppable. When the spirit is alive, you fight through pain, fear, and doubt. When the spirit is trained, you don't just survive the battle, you dominate it. So how do you train the spirit? You embrace struggle. You don't run from discomfort, you chase it. You don't quit when it hurts, you dig deeper. You don't wait for perfect conditions, you create them. Every hard workout, every brutal run, every sweat-soaked battle is not just shaping your body, it's carving your spirit into steel. Don't just ask yourself how much weight you lifted today. Ask yourself how much discipline you built. Don't just count the sets and reps. Count the moments you wanted to quit but didn't. Don't just look at the mirror. Look at the person you're becoming: tougher, sharper, more relentless. Because at the end of the day, the body fades. The trophies gather dust, the numbers on the bar don't matter. What matters is the spirit you forged in the process. That spirit becomes your identity. That spirit becomes your weapon. That spirit becomes the reason you can walk through fire and come out untouched. So stop chasing just the body, chase the spirit. Stop training just for appearance, train for resilience. Stop working out just for looks, work out for life. Build a body, yes, but more importantly, build a spirit so savage that no obstacle, no pain, no failure can ever break you. Because muscles may impress people, but spirit inspires them, and a spirit that cannot be broken is the ultimate savage weapon. Discomfort is your greatest weapon. Most people spend their whole lives chasing comfort. They want the soft bed, the easy path, the shortcut, the quick fix. They'll do anything to avoid discomfort, and that's exactly why they stay average. That's why they stay weak. That's why their dreams never leave their heads. But a savage knows the truth. Discomfort is not your enemy. Discomfort is your greatest weapon. When you're uncomfortable, you're growing. When you're uncomfortable, you're leveling up. When you're uncomfortable, you're pushing yourself into new territory that most people are too scared to step into. Comfort might feel good in the moment, but it kills progress. Discomfort hurts in the moment, but it creates greatness. Think about every breakthrough in your life. It didn't happen when things were easy. It happened when you were tested. It happened when you had to dig deeper. It happened when you were uncomfortable and kept going anyway. Discomfort is the forge. It's the fire that burns away weakness and leaves only strength. But here's the problem. We've been programmed to avoid it. Society tells us, don't push too hard, don't stress yourself, don't do anything that feels painful. And people listen. They sit on couches instead of lifting weights. They choose fast food instead of fueling their body. They hit snooze instead of running. Why? Because comfort whispers sweet lies that keep them average. You have to flip the script. You have to start craving discomfort. You have to wake up and look for it. Ask yourself every day, where can I make myself uncomfortable today? Where can I stretch myself today? Where can I suffer so I can grow stronger? Discomfort is the key that unlocks potential you didn't even know you had. Every time you run farther than you thought you could, that's discomfort sharpening you. Every time you lift heavier than you believed possible, that's discomfort expanding your limits. Every time you put yourself in a situation that scares you, that's discomfort molding you into something unbreakable. Understand this. Comfort zones are prisons. They keep you locked in, trapped by your own fear, chained to mediocrity. You'll never find greatness inside a comfort zone. You'll never find strength in safety. The only place you'll find it is in the fire of discomfort. That's why you can't just train when it's easy. You can't just push when you feel good. You have to show up when it's inconvenient. You have to push when you're exhausted. You have to train when your mind is screaming for rest. That's when the transformation happens. The savage doesn't just tolerate discomfort, he thrives in it. He sees pain and smiles. He sees struggle and leans in. He sees fear and runs toward it. Why? Because he knows every second spent in discomfort is another layer of armor being built, another weapon being sharpened, another step toward becoming unstoppable. Here's the hard truth. If you want comfort, stay average, stay weak, stay like everyone else. But if you want to build a body and mind that no storm can break, you've got to chase discomfort like your life depends on it, because it does. Ask yourself, what hurts more, the pain of pushing through discomfort now, or the pain of regret later? The truth is, regret will eat you alive. Regret is permanent. Discomfort is temporary. 10 years from now, you won't care about the workouts that made you sore, but you'll hate yourself if you quit on the life you wanted because you were too afraid to be uncomfortable. So from this moment on, stop running from discomfort. Run toward it, stop fearing it, embrace it, seek it, because every drop of sweat, every aching muscle, every uncomfortable moment is proof that you're growing stronger. Discomfort is not a curse, it's a gift. It's the grindstone that sharpens you into a weapon. It's the fire that burns you into steel. It's the path that separates the savage from the soft. So don't just accept discomfort, wield it, use it. Make it your greatest weapon, because when you learn to live in discomfort, you become unstoppable. And nothing, not pain, not fear, not failure can ever stand in your way. Become the savage within. You've heard it, all the excuses that try to hold you back, the pain that forges your strength, the battlefield of the mind, the spirit that outlasts the body, the power of discomfort, and the Unbreakable will build rep by rep. All of it leads to one truth. This isn't just about fitness. This isn't just about training. This is about who you decide to become. Most people will never understand what it means to truly commit. They'll never step into the fire. They'll never face themselves in the mirror and demand more. They'll live soft, die soft, and fade into history with nothing to show for the potential they wasted. But you're not most people. The savage inside you doesn't settle. He doesn't quit. He doesn't compromise. He knows the body follows the mind follows the spirit, and the spirit is forged in pain, discomfort, and relentless discipline. That's the formula, that's the truth, that's the path. You've got a choice every single day. Stay comfortable and stay the same, or embrace the grind and transform into something greater. The weights will test you. The miles will break you. The pain will dare you to quit. But if you stand tall, if you push harder, if you refuse to surrender, you'll discover a version of yourself that you never knew existed, stronger, sharper, unbreakable. And that version of you, that's the savage, that's the one who doesn't just survive the storm, but becomes the storm. That's the one who doesn't just build a body, but builds a legacy. So stop waiting. Stop negotiating. Stop running from what you know you need to do. Step into the arena, lift the weight, run the miles, sweat, bleed, suffer, and love every second of it. Because every drop of effort is not just building strength, it's building the savage within. And when that savage is unleashed, nothing, no pain, no obstacle, no weakness can stand in your way. Be relentless, be disciplined, be unbreakable, be a savage always.